Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Unbreakable Self-Training session. Today we are going to optimize our body. We're going to focus on what way we can use the fundamental framework of body and taking care of ourselves to recover better and be a more optimized self. What we're going to focus on today is tissue mobility, part of joint positioning, making sure everything is in a good alignment. The equipment you're going to need for an exercise like this, something as simple as a lacrosse ball, as I have it here. Lacrosse ball, you can get it for like $3 at a sporting goods store. They're like a $3 therapist. Quite effective, to say the least. We're going to focus on 2 exercises in the lower extremity, and you can do these, and when to do these. You can do these before you work out. You can do these after you work out, anytime you're sore. I personally do these every single morning as part of my Unbreakable morning routine. So what you're going to need to do with this is place the ball on the floor. And the key to doing any tissue mobility exercises is finding a spot, and we're going to focus on the bottom of the foot, finding a spot that is quite tender. Generally on the bottom of the foot, you got a spot on the inside, right where this the shin muscle comes down, goes underneath, and attaches right into that bone right there, that insertion point. You can also find a spot on the outside. You have another muscle on the outer portion of the leg, comes down and attaches into that spot as well. The key here is, instead of rolling around like you are pizza dough, is actually just setting up and holding tension for about 5 to 10 seconds. And what that's doing is that's turning the muscle off. So what I mean by turning the muscle off is that if it's over spastic or over tight, you're going to feel some tenderness, you're going to feel some pain. Sometimes this can be quite tender, so just be mindful with yourself. So setting up here, all I'm going to do is hang out here for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then I'm going to go through range of motion. With the range of motion with this one is I'm going to have you crunch toes up and extend toes out. Crunching toes up, extending toes out. A couple of times going back and forth. And literally all you're doing is just flexing your toes and extending them out. And what that's doing, that's just moving the tissue, moving the fascia up underneath the ball. So doing the other spot, just going to the outside, we crunch toes up, extend toes out, crunch toes up, extend toes out. And again, what that does is that moves the tissue up underneath. Any adhesion you have going on in there, it's sort of like flossing, but for your body, which is great. So the other exercise I'm going to have you guys focus on today is going to be a muscle on the inside of the leg. And this muscle actually is, if you ever have shin splints, or anytime you go running and you have you've been running and you start to feel pain on the inside of the leg, this is a great exercise to help reduce the impact of force on the inside of the leg and also reduce the impact of pain if you have shin splints, for instance. So what I do with this is you can sit on the ground, you can sit on a chair or a box, whatever is most effective, and all you're going to do, you're going to take the ball and you're going to find that spot on the front of your leg called the shin bone or the tibia, and you go just behind it. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to just apply pressure with both hands. Sometimes I grab the front of my shin, and from here I'm just going to lift my toe up or lift my foot up towards the ceiling and then push down towards the earth. I'm going to go push up and push down. And again, what that's doing is that's pressing and that's forcing any adhesion, any fascial distortion, dysfunction underneath that ball, and it's starting to mobilize that tissue so that it can lay down in a nice symmetric pattern. Again, this stuff is pretty tender. It's pretty tender on me right now. And so if it is tender and it's too much, just lighten the amount of pressure. And how long to do this is about 10 passes. So start there. If you're a runner, if you're a crossfitter, if you're a Spartan racer, whatever it is, try this exercise before you work out and try it after. See what the difference is. Do one side just to get a good idea, and start there. Stay unbreakable.